Hi, Lance. Thanks for submitting your performance assessment task to our Blackboard site. I thought it would all be good, but I just wanted to show you here on the screen that the view of it for me isn't working. So you submitted it. It probably looked great on your end, but when I view it, the only way I have to view it is this, and it doesn't it doesn't actually let me see what the PAT is supposed to look like. So I want to show you this is what I want you to do. Okay, I want you to log into WIDS and go to your course, Emergency Medical Technician 1. You can search for it using either the name or the catalog number. This is your 8-digit catalog number. So log into WIDS, enter this course, find it, and then what I want you to do is at the left, let me see if I can remember this, at the left, click Quick Prints. Not that. At the left, let's click LPs, Learning Plans, PATs, Performance Assessment Tasks. Click the blue to expand it, and then click the white. You always have to do it that way. And let's see if this loads up here. Just thinking out loud. You probably can see the PAT, and I cannot. That's a possibility. Each of us has our own set of permissions in WIDS, and because I don't teach EMTs or any of that, I don't have permission to see any of it. So maybe you can see it and I can't. If that's the case, then email me back. Let me know if that's the case. Otherwise, if there aren't any, so sometimes the other thing that happens is sometimes there are no PATs in the WID system and you have to build your own. All right, okay, I just said the answer I was searching for in my head. So if there are no PATs, if your screen looks like my screen and there are no existing PATs, then you have to build your own. So click on My PATs in the orange, and then for the PAT, really you could just put in the bare bones information because it's more about us understanding how to use a PAT than learning how to build it in WIDS. So add a title. So you have to click Edit to start building your PAT. Add a title. You can call it whatever, EMT1, whatever you want. Click Save. Then go over to Information. Then that PAT will be there. Well, actually, I can even do it. So I'm going to pretend I'm you. So I'm going to say I clicked Edit. I'm going to click Add. And I'm going to say pennies, EMT, PAT. I gotta love the acronyms. I'm going to click Save. WIDS is always a little bit slow. Then I'm going to click Information. Now I can see my PAT. Nobody else but me can see this. When you build yours, nobody else but you can see it until we export it and you let me see it. So select your PAT from the list. Add a target outcome. So this is where you're going to look back at your outline of instruction. Pick one of the outcomes you want to meet. So I'm just going to make stuff up. I'm going to say add target outcome. I think you had something about, I do get to see them. All right, so I'm just going to pick one. Demonstrate proper wellness safety procedures. So I'm going to pick that outcome. You can pick any one that you want to build a PAT around. And you should only have one target outcome, because otherwise the PAT just becomes too complicated. If you want to target more than one outcome during a class or during a session of a class, just build different PATs for each one. Okay, next up, click Directions. These are the directions to the students. So for me, because I teach computer classes, it's things like turn on your computer, log into the network, start up a blank Excel spreadsheet, whatever. Yours might be come to the classroom, or the, I don't know what you guys call the bay. Do they go in the EMT bay, the ambulance bay? I don't know. Get out your equipment, dress, all of that sort of directions to the student. And then for me, this is for everybody. The directions are the full directions to the student. So if I'm grading someone on an Excel spreadsheet, I'm going to say, start a new spreadsheet, type in the data I've given to you, calculate the average cost of living, calculate the loan payment amount, right? I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the things that they need to do for this assessment task, right? This is the homework. This is the assessment piece. All right, that goes all in the directions. Next up, so we're only doing the bare bones. You can sort of ignore the other stuff. If you want to add it, that's great, but you don't have to. Under scoring guide, This is then where you're going to add a criteria and tie it directly back to the direction. So again, my example, start an Excel spreadsheet, add the data given to you, calculate the cost of living. So here in the scoring guide, one criterion would be student created a new Excel spreadsheet, or you created a new Excel spreadsheet. You entered the data appropriately as given to you by the instructor. Number 3, you properly calculated the cost of living using the, I don't know, sum or function or whatever I want them to use. You properly calculated the average, using this function. So these criteria, and then for each criteria, you'll have a rating over here. You'll pick a rating scale. Lots of people use met, not met. I use a rating scale of 5, and it's something like done but with major, or not present is 0, done but major mistakes is a 1, done with minor mistakes is a 2, done with only 1 or 2 mistakes is a 3, something like that. And then 5 is perfect, absolutely no mistakes are present, or something like that. So you have to add every single criteria, has to match the directions on the things that you're assessing the student on. Okay, everyone gets a rating scale. Next up, over to the scoring guide. This is where you'll identify the rating scales. These all exist, by the way. I don't know if I can do it. Import from a bank or library, because I haven't built the other things. I just want to see if I can show you that lots of these things already exist in WIDS. Why we use WIDS is because every technical college in Wisconsin uses WIDS. So I don't have to build this from scratch, right? I didn't have to figure out what those 5 things meant. I pulled them from the library. And so, load. So do you see here, like, look at all of the libraries in here, and then just choose the one you want to use. There's behavior ones, there's performance ones, there's mastery ones. Look at, just select whatever one you like best. And that's going to be true for the criterion as well. You can see if there's something out there that's already been built that you can just use. Okay, so that in grand total. Oh, one more thing I want you to add, which is critical, and a lot of people miss it, is here, the scoring standard. You have to tell the student the standards around the grade that they're going to get. So for me, they have to get a C or better, or they have to redo the assignment or redo a similar assignment. Sometimes the students have to earn, if the rating is met or not met, this statement will say, if any score of not met is given, the student must redo the assignment, or something like that. Or, you have to give the student the heads up. Or if they can get a not met, if there's absolutely no consequences to the grade that they get on this assessment, give them a statement that says that too, that the final calculation will be the score submitted to your grade book, or something like that, right? Just give them the rules around the score that they'll get for the assessment. I'm not saying it well. If you need any help, let me know. And in fact, you can draft your PAT and then save it, export it, send it to me for review if you want, or just submit it to Blackboard. Okay, so I'm going to pretend this is done. I'm going to click Save. And then I'm just going to quickly, sorry this is getting long, I'm going to quickly show you how to export it. So my PAT exists. It has barely any information in it. But now under Quick Prints, there's my PAT. It didn't exist before because I didn't have it built. So at the left, click the blue Quick Prints. Then underneath, click the PAT. You have to select your PAT and then refresh report. And once that loads, we are going to say export to Microsoft Word. And then it'll export it. It'll be saved to your computer. You can upload it, submit it to Blackboard. All right, email me if you have any questions at all.